The channel. Today's tutorial I'll be talking on how to make or draft this basic sleeves, basic long sleeve and a basic short sleeve. Stay tuned. So I'll start up with the long sleeve first. All right, so now I'll be using the length of this as my full length. I'm making use of it as my full length. All right, so here is my start point. Then the next thing I'm going to mark is my biceps line or my calf line, which is going to be at 4 inches. My bust measurement is 36. That's why I'm working with 4 inches. Assuming it's someone that is of a larger bust, I'll be working with 4.5 to 5 inches. So this is my biceps line, and this is my start point, and this is the hem. So this is my calf. Let me use calf, start, then the hem. All right. So now the next thing I'm going to be marking on this calf line is my bust measurements divide by 4. That's quarter of my bust measurements. The quarter of my bust measurements is 8.5 plus your seam allowance. You can decide to work with 2, you can decide to work with 1.5 inches. Then coming to the hemline, we need here the measurements, your wrist measurements. So my wrist measurements is 7.5, 7 inches. Then if I divide it by 2, I'll be getting 3.5 plus 1.5 seam allowance. All right, this is what I have. So I'm going to be connecting my wrist measurement to my biceps or calf line measurements. So I'm going to be marking this to this. All right, then coming to this point, I'm going to make a rule, a straight line to the tip of what I have here. Okay, now it's just like a straight line. What you have to do is you curve it in. This will enable you. The straight line I made is no, I'm not working with this. This is a straight line I made, sorry. This is a straight line I made. So what I have to do is to come up here. Then from this point, you move in to make a proper curve. Alright, so this is what your long sleeve looks like, or what the long sleeve looks like. Then I'll cut it out. So this is what I have for my long sleeve. So this is what I have then. Then for a short sleeve, you want to make a short sleeve. It depends on the short sleeve you want to make, if it is 3/4 or just normal short sleeve. So most short sleeves are 10 inches long. All right, and you'll be adding your hemming allowance. Maybe it will now end at 12 inches. So this is my starting point. This is my calf line. All right. C, I'll label this as C, this as X, and this as H. So What I'm going to mark here is my bust measurements. Divide by 4 plus 1.5 inch seam allowance. Coming to the hemline, I'm going to measure round here. This is where you, from here to where you stopped, where your sleeve length stopped, you have sleeve length stopped. So wherever it stops, you measure it round. So let's measure mine. I have 11 inches, which is 6.5 here, and I'll be adding 1.5 inch seam allowance, and I have it here. The next thing I'm going to do is to connect it using my rule. So I've connected it. Then from this start point, just like how I did for the other one, I also do it here. From this is my biceps or calf line, I'm going to connect it to the tip this way. All right, so now it's just sharp. So what you have to do is just blend it in. To form your sleeve. Then you cut out. So this is your sleeve, your short sleeve. So this is your